whispers in the shadows, unveiling the malevolent secrets of the Conjuring House. The wind howled through the barren trees, sending a shiver down my spine as I stood before the imposing structure known as the Conjuring House. It was a dark and stormy night, with the clock striking midnight, setting the stage for the horror that was about to unfold. I had always been fascinated by the supernatural, and this old Victorian mansion had a sinister reputation that drew me in like a moth to a flame. The house was situated in the small town of Blackwood, a place that had long been plagued by eerie tales and unsettling occurrences. The locals avoided it like the plague, believing it to be cursed. It had stood for centuries, abandoned and decaying. As I entered the house, the creaking floorboards echoed in the stillness of the night. The air was heavy with an unnatural chill, and I could feel eyes watching my every move. The place was shrouded in darkness, and the only source of illumination was the flickering candle I held in my trembling hand. The walls were adorned with faded wallpaper, peeling and covered in strange symbols that sent a chill down my spine. My heart raced as I ascended a grand, winding staircase that led to the upper floor. The stories I had heard about this place had warned of the malevolent spirits that dwelled within its walls. I had dismissed them as mere tales, but now, as I ventured deeper into the house, I couldn't help but question my own sanity. The first event that shook me to my core occurred as I reached the top of the stairs. A portrait hung on the wall, a grotesque visage of a woman with hollow eyes and a sinister grin. The eyes in the painting seemed to follow me, and I felt a presence behind me, breathing down my neck. I turned around, but there was nothing there. My heart pounded in my chest, and I continued down the dimly lit hallway. As I explored further, I stumbled upon a room that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. The door creaked open with a sound that sent shivers down my spine. Inside, an antique crib sat in the center of the room, its bars adorned with rust and decay. I felt a cold breeze, even though the windows were sealed shut, and the room seemed to darken as if the very shadows had come alive. Suddenly, a child's laughter echoed in the room, piercing my ears like a scream in the night. I whirled around to see a spectral figure of a young girl in a tattered dress, her eyes hollow and filled with anguish. She pointed towards the crib, and her voice echoed through my mind. "Help me, please." I stumbled back in terror, my candle flickering dangerously. The apparition disappeared into thin air, leaving me trembling and drenched in cold sweat. I had heard stories of a tragic accident that had occurred in this house decades ago, but I had never expected to witness the ghostly aftermath firsthand. Determined to uncover the truth, I continued my exploration of the house. The next room I entered was a dusty library filled with ancient books and decaying manuscripts. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and aged paper. I pulled a weathered tome from the shelf, its pages filled with arcane symbols and incantations that sent a chill down my spine. As I scanned the pages, I became aware of a presence in the room with me. The temperature dropped, and the candles lining the shelves flickered violently. The room seemed to come alive with an otherworldly energy, and the books flew off the shelves, their pages fluttering in the air as if guided by invisible hands. I watched in horror as the room transformed into a swirling vortex of supernatural chaos. Shadowy figures danced around me, whispering incomprehensible incantations in a language I couldn't understand. I dropped the book, and it landed with a thud, breaking the spell. The room returned to its eerie silence, but I knew I was no longer alone. I fled the library, my heart racing, and found myself in a long, narrow corridor. The walls were lined with portraits of past residents, their eyes following me as I walked. Each face seemed to twist into a sinister grin, their eyes devoid of any humanity. I tried to escape the relentless gaze of the portraits, but no matter where I looked, their eerie eyes bore into my soul. I stumbled upon a locked door at the end of the corridor, its wooden frame covered in strange symbols etched into the wood. I fumbled with the doorknob, but it refused to budge. Panic set in as I heard whispers emanating from the other side, faint at first, but growing louder and more sinister with each passing moment. Desperate to escape, I turned to leave the corridor, but the door behind me slammed shut with a deafening crash. I was trapped, alone in this haunted house, with no way out. The walls seemed to close in around me, and I could feel a malevolent force closing in. In a final, horrifying event, the lights in the corridor flickered and then went out completely. I was plunged into total darkness, unable to see a thing. The whispers grew louder, and I could feel a cold, clammy hand brush against my shoulder. I screamed, but the sound was drowned out by the cacophony of voices that surrounded me. Suddenly, the door before me swung open, revealing a blinding light that seared my eyes. I stumbled through, disoriented and terrified, finding myself back outside the house. The storm had intensified, rain pouring down in torrents. The Conjuring House loomed before me, its windows dark and foreboding. I ran from the house, my heart pounding, and never looked back. The events of that night haunted me for the rest of my days, a chilling reminder of the malevolent forces that lurked within the walls of the Conjuring House. It was a place where the supernatural and the mundane collided, a place where nightmares became reality, and I had narrowly escaped its clutches. To this day, I cannot forget the terror I experienced within those walls, and I warn anyone who dares to venture near the Conjuring House to stay away, for the horrors that await within are beyond imagination, and the price of curiosity may be one's very soul. From the harrowing tale of the Conjuring House, we extract a profound and enduring wisdom that resonates with the deepest recesses of our souls. Beware the allure of the unknown, for in the pursuit of curiosity, we may find ourselves ensnared by forces beyond our comprehension. The darkness that dwells within the shadows of our world is a realm best left untouched. True wisdom lies not in unraveling the mysteries of the supernatural, but in respecting the boundaries between our realm and the next. In life, there are places and secrets that are better left undiscovered, for in their revelation, we risk losing our very essence. The price of unchecked curiosity can be a terrifying descent into the abyss of the unknown. May this tale serve as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most valuable wisdom is found in the cautionary tales that send shivers down our spines. In the face of the unexplained, it is the choice to step back, to leave well enough alone, that demonstrates the strength of our humanity. For in the dance between the natural and the supernatural, it is our discretion that defines our survival. Thank you for joining us for this spine-tingling story. We hope you found it both thrilling and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please consider participating in our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. Your support goes a long way in helping us create more engaging content for you. Goodbye, and may you always tread carefully in the world of the unknown.